Hey everyone, and welcome back. When you think of the Middle Ages, what comes to mind? Knights, castles, maybe a general lack of Wi-Fi. It's often called the Dark Ages, but that couldn't be further from the truth. It was a period of incredible innovation, and today we're diving into 10 medieval inventions so advanced we still can't beat them. Let's get started. First up, the heavy plow. Before this, farmers used light, scratch plows that barely broke the surface. But in the 6th century, the heavy plow changed everything. With its iron blade and a moldboard to turn over the heavy, clay-rich soils of northern Europe, it revolutionized agriculture. It dug deeper, aerated the soil better, and created the iconic furrowed fields we still see today. This simple-sounding invention led to massive food surpluses, population growth, and ultimately the rise of cities. It's the granddaddy of modern farming equipment, and its basic principle remains unchanged. Next, something many of us use every day. Eyeglasses. Imagine a world where your vision starts to fade in your 40s, and that's just it. Your career as a scribe, a jeweler, or anything requiring fine detail is over. That was reality until the late 13th century in Italy. The first eyeglasses used convex lenses to correct farsightedness, effectively doubling the working life of skilled artisans and scholars. This simple device was a game-changer for knowledge and craftsmanship, allowing wisdom and skill to be passed down for generations longer. The form has evolved, but the fundamental concept? Pure medieval genius. Number 3 is a system, not just a single object. The 3-field crop rotation. For centuries, farmers used a 2-field system, leaving half their land fallow each year to recover. But around the 8th century, a more efficient method emerged. Farmers divided their land into 3 fields. They'd plant one with a winter crop like wheat, a second with a spring crop like beans or peas, and leave the third fallow. Each year they'd rotate. This boosted food production by a massive 17%, and improved nutrition as the legumes returned nitrogen to the soil and added protein to the diet. It was a sustainable, brilliant agricultural strategy that laid the groundwork for modern farming rotations. Now, let's harness the power of nature with the postmill. Windmills had existed before, but the medieval postmill, appearing in the 12th century, was a leap forward. The entire body of the mill, the part containing the machinery, was mounted on a single, massive vertical post. This allowed the miller to physically rotate the whole structure to face the wind, maximizing efficiency. It was a revolutionary way to grind grain, pump water, and power early industry, completely independent of a river. This adaptability made it an indispensable piece of technology across Europe. Let's find our way to number 5. The magnetic compass. While the Chinese discovered magnetism, it was European sailors in the 12th century who refined it into the dry pivoting needle compass we know. By placing a magnetized needle on a pivot point inside a box with a windrose, they created a reliable navigational tool that worked in any weather. This liberated sailors from hugging the coastline and relying on the sun and stars. It opened up the oceans, paving the way for the age of discovery and a truly global world. It's a simple, elegant solution that still sits on the dashboard of ships and planes today as a crucial backup. Get ready for some serious firepower with the trebuchet. Forget the Hollywood image of simple catapults. The traction trebuchet, pulled by a team of people, was common, but the counterweight trebuchet, developed around the 12th century, was the true medieval superweapon. Using a massive counterweight on a long arm, it could launch projectiles weighing hundreds of pounds over incredible distances with surprising accuracy. It was a masterpiece of physics and engineering, capable of bringing down the mightiest castle walls. Its elegant use of gravity and leverage makes it one of the most powerful and efficient siege engines ever designed. From destruction to construction, let's look up at the flying buttress. When medieval architects wanted to build taller, more magnificent cathedrals with huge stained glass windows, they hit a wall, literally. The outward thrust from the heavy stone vaults would push the walls over. The solution? The flying buttress. These graceful, arched supports transferred the weight from the upper walls, over the side aisles, and down to the ground. This innovation allowed for soaring heights, thin walls, and vast expanses of glass, creating the breathtaking, light-filled interiors of Gothic cathedrals. It's structural engineering as high art. Next, we have the astrolabe. This beautiful and complex instrument was the smartphone of the medieval world. Perfected by Islamic scholars and later adopted in Europe, it was an astronomical computer that fit in your hand. By modeling the movement of the stars, it could be used to tell time, determine latitude, survey land, and even cast horoscopes. It required incredible skill in mathematics and metalworking to create. While GPS has replaced it for navigation, the astrolabe represents a pinnacle of ancient and medieval scientific knowledge, a physical model of the cosmos. Number 9 is clockwork. The first mechanical clocks, appearing in the 14th century, weren't for your wrist. They were massive, iron contraptions built for public clock towers. Driven by weights and regulated by an escapement mechanism, they marked the passing of hours with the ringing of bells. This invention fundamentally changed society's relationship with time. It introduced standardized hours, synchronized city life, and moved the world away from the natural rhythms of sun and season toward the structured, scheduled world we live in today. Every clock and watch you own owes its existence to these medieval iron giants. Finally, we arrive at the Gothic rose window. More than just a pretty window, this is a triumph of medieval architecture, geometry, and artistry. These massive, circular stained glass windows, often depicting intricate biblical scenes, are held together by complex stone tracery. They required an incredible understanding of geometry to design and engineering skill to execute, ensuring the structure could support its own weight and the glass within. They are designed to be read like a book, filling the sacred space with colored, divine light. They are a perfect fusion of faith, art, and science that continues to inspire awe centuries later. And there you have it. 10 inventions that prove the Middle Ages were anything but dark. From feeding a continent to reaching for the heavens, these innovations were so powerful and well-designed that their core principles are still with us today. They remind us that ingenuity can flourish in any era. Which of these inventions surprised you the most? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. See you in the next one.